Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's live is a little different and I've been wanting to do something like this. This is just like a garden with me, plant with me, garden vlog, live style. I got quite a few plants. Ah, it's a bee. The blueberries are over there. I'm still scared of bees, no matter how much I garden. But so I got quite a few plants. I'm going to show you what they are, and I'm also going to plant them on live on camera for you all. Except I'm not exactly, okay, that's just a bumblebee. Except I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to be putting all of these plants so far, because I'm like that shopper that buys stuff like plants and then, let me zip my jacket, it's kind of chilly. I'm that shopper that buys plants and then I really don't have a plan for where I'm putting them until they get to my house and I put them in the ground. So I just stopped by Walmart and got this clematis. It's a purple clematis that I'm actually going to be potting up into a pot until I feel like it's a little bit established and good enough to go in the ground. And I know where I'm going to be planting this. I'm going to be planting this at my front gate in the front garden bed in front of my house, right next to the gate, so that I can trellis it up the gate, and it'll be pretty purple flowers to dress it up. We have just like a metal fence, which I love because I can trellis things like this up it. And then I got a Japanese snowball viburnum. This one I'm not sure where I'm gonna put because viburnums can get very large. Uh, but they're so beautiful. They kind of remind me of hydrangeas, but bigger. And they can take a lot more sun than hydrangeas. So I'm not sure where I'm gonna put this yet. I don't know if I want to put it closer to the house or further out into the yard. Yeah, I don't know. But so I got both of those from Walmart. The viburnum was $6.97. There were a few of them over there with no leaves. I just dug through them and got the one that looked healthiest and had leaves on it and new leaves appearing. So I figured this was the newer batch that was there, because you know Walmart does not be taking care of their plants. So that was $6.97, and then the clematis was $5.42. And then these two other plants, I'm really excited for this one. I got these two other plants I'm going to show you from a local nursery in my area. Also, I'm going to tell you I'm gardening in zone 8A. Figure I should mention that. This has like a bunch of little clover weeds in it. But this is a Lord Baltimore hibiscus rose mallow. So this is the one that is a perennial hibiscus. It dies to the ground every year, which is why there's just a stub here, but it will push up all new growth in the late spring. So this one gets 4 to 5 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. I know where I'm putting this, and I'm gonna put it in, I'll show you where I'm gonna put it, but I do need to move my son's little garden box that is currently there. Okay, and the last plant that I got is this Russian sage, which I just watered it, so I just got water all over my legs. This Russian sage, it is the crazy blue. I've been wanting Russian sage in my garden. I only got one for now. I like to only get one plant of something most times, just to see if I can keep it alive first. And then if I want more, I'll go back another season and get more if they don't have any more when I'm ready to go back and get some. So I'm only going to put one of these in here today. And I'm actually going to put it near this Lord Baltimore hibiscus because I feel like that would be very pretty with the red and purples together, really pretty. I just feel like purple in any like color flower is really pretty. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I guess first what I'm gonna do is pot up, well, first I'm gonna soak the roots of this clematis because since it is in just a bag like this, it's really dry. And I did try to look inside of it, like just peek through to see if it's alive, and I do see like a little sprout sticking up. So I'm gonna open this and soak it in some water. Yo, this bee keeps coming back. I think it's because I have a bright yellow bag of soil. So, and then I'm gonna be mixing garden soil with some compost manure. That's usually what I do for like my food garden, my edible garden, but it's also what I like to do for putting plants in the ground. And then I'll end up mixing that, both of those ingredients with the native soil and put it all back in the ground so that I can add some organic material to my native soil, because my main native soil, it depends where it's at, but some of it's really sandy, some of it's really clay based. Overall, it's really good soil. It's some of the best soil in the East Coast, which is great. But I do like to add some organic matter to it when I plant my plants. So behind me, I'll just flip the camera, is my, what is that called? Wheelbarrow. Where I'm gonna mix some soil. This is just leftover from garden, but I got some more soil today. In case this isn't enough, because I am planting quite a few things. I'm going to go recycle this because the bees have been after this for y'all. Also have this little hand rake that I got from the dollar store like a couple years ago that I'm going to use to mix these things together. The compost usually is like clumpy. Um, and sometimes it has rocks in it, but try to remove most of the rocks and crush the clump and then just mix it all together. Like, that's a rock. I think that's a rock too. Oh no, that's cactus. That's a rock. That's a rock. It's not the best compost, I guess. I mean, it'll do, but it definitely comes with a lot of rocks in it. And you get what you pay for because it was really cheap at Lowe's, and I am a frugal gal. So, but it's still going to add organic material, which is what matters. But since my garden has gotten so much larger, I'm going to be adding or purchasing the called mushroom compost from a local source. Since you have to buy it in bulk, I'll have enough. I should have enough to actually use. All right, so I'm just gonna throw some soil in here. That should be good for the clematis. Okay, so I just filled up a little bowl of water from a hose. Now I'm just gonna soak the roots of this clematis for a little bit before I put it in the pot. Why are these bags always so hard to open? I got some bare root strawberries a couple of weeks back, which I don't know if they're alive, and I think it might just been a waste of money. But thankfully I have strawberries that I can just propagate from the runners from already, but I wanted to try the cheap bare root ones. Okay, let's see. There's a little sprout, so I assume that it's alive. The roots look alive. So I'm just gonna soak this in this water. And I'm debating if I want to soak this viburnum in the water right now, because I don't want it to die. But I need to go get some scissors so I can cut this. Be right back. I don't even think I have any pruners out here. Okay. Got a couple of pruners. We use these since these are old and they might be able to fit between the zip tie. They zip tie the top of this. Yep. So on the inside of like the clematis tag, and a lot of these tags that you get, like bulbs and stuff, they'll tell you when to plant it, how to plant it. Like for the clematis, it says plant this in my zone in April or May. So good thing I'm putting it in a pot so that it won't be in the ground, and I can bring it in the house when it's too cold outside. So it says plant in April or May, and it's a perennial that'll come back every year. I'm not the biggest fan of annuals. I'm a perennial girl because perennials you don't have to buy over and over. So this is the viburnum. It looks like it's in like shavings, which honestly I'm gonna go open it over the wheelbarrow so that I'm not getting the shavings everywhere or just straight in the water. So I'm gonna flip you around again. Back and forth we go. Okay. The shavings is just more organic matter. I don't really care about adding it to the soil over here. Ooh, it's nice and moist though, which is nice. On this side, so not really. I don't know why that's in there. Yeah, so I was gonna put this in a pot, but these roots are really long. So I think I'm gonna just have to put it straight in the ground instead. But the medium that it was planted in is still pretty moist, which is nice. That means the roots and stuff didn't dry out. There are a couple looks like roots, but there's also like fresh white roots on them. Like if I put it in that pot, it's literally going to like stick out the top. I don't know. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just have to find a place to put that in the ground. But see, some of the roots are like brown crispy, which signifies that it's dead. But then right next to it, there are like fresh white roots too. So it's very much alive. And that's why I chose green one, because they had a lot of just like empty sticks up there. So I'm gonna place that in the water with the clematis. I'm gonna have to get a lot more water for that because the roots are just so long. It's barely like fitting in the pot. Yes, it's like barely in there. Just the bottom. So the clematis looks like it is soaked up probably enough water. I'm gonna leave it there for a couple more minutes while I figure out what we're gonna do with this. So let's move from my porch to the side of the garden where I'm going to be putting the hibiscus and the Russian sage. I'm excited to have the hibiscus because use it for tea, and also most plants have magical benefits to them that I'm really excited to explore in my garden. So I'm gonna put this under here. All right, moving to where I'm going to locate this. So you see here on the side of my porch, actually let me back up so I can show you what I've done to my garden space. So at first, this bed here with my herbs and perennials stopped right here next to my Abelia, Little Richard Abelia, stopped right there. So what I'm doing is I extended it all the way around the front porch area. So I have lots and lots of room for different plants and stuff. This is my son's little garden box. Right now it just has beautiful red pansies and some radishes, which I don't know is gonna pull through, but he's got high hopes, so I got high hopes. So here where this is, and my hose, I need to get a longer hose that connects to the water. And I'm gonna be putting that on the porch and just screwing it into the porch so that it's not just flopping around. And then here we'll open up a lot more room and his box will be moved somewhere else in the garden. And so right here where we're looking is where I am going to be planting my hibiscus, which is bright red. So pretty. I'm so excited. It's gonna look really good with this yellow too. And the Russian sage, all his little T-ball kits over here. So I'm gonna be planting this somewhere over here, probably right there to be honest, because it says it gets like 2 to 3 feet wide. So, and it doesn't come up for a very long time. So I have plenty of time to move this box and finish adding garden soil, compost, and wood chips to this whole area. But I'm so excited to fill this space up. And then the Russian sage, I'm debating, actually I think I might put it on that side too, because that side of the garden over there gets the most sun, like pretty much all day sun, which is why I'm putting that hibiscus there, because hibiscus loves sun. Or I was thinking about putting it here because this rose right here is also beautiful, vibrant red. It's bare root rose, and red, purple, yellow, and then That gardenia right there blooms white, and then on the end is my black lace elderberry. So I feel like it'd be really pretty. Or what I'm going to put in this spot instead of this Russian sage, which I think I might do instead, is put lavender and rosemary, because I really want like rosemary in front of this door, even though I already have rosemary slightly over from the door. I just love rosemary. So I don't know, I think I might just stick it over here instead. Ooh. Like there. Well, further over, further up, because it needs enough room away from that so it won't get overtaken by that. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Even though I'll be in the ground before I can get anybody's opinion on the matter, to be honest. So, yeah, let me put you back on the stand. I'm gonna flip you around the other way. I lied. Flip you around like this. That's a good angle. And I'm going to go get my shovel so I can dig a little hole and get these things planted in the ground. Then I'm gonna figure out where I want to put the viburnum. I was thinking about putting the viburnum here, but oh my gosh, so confusing. Because the viburnum gets really big. And moving and putting the hibiscus in front of, in front of the AC unit to block that view, because no AC units are ever pretty. But I don't know, I have a lot of plans for my garden space. So I'm very confused about what I want to do. But in this grow bag, that black grow bag right there is a fig plant, which is staying in the grow bag for now. Maybe next season I'll move it into the ground in that exact same spot. I just want to see how I like it being so close to the house, in that spot right there before I put it in the ground. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started. I'm talking too much. I'm not in my garden shoes. Y'all, I'm pretty sure that's a pipe right there, because it looks like metal. So I'm gonna have to just scoot it over a little bit. That is so funny that I picked that exact spot. I don't even know where that pipe's going. Like, where are you going? The house is over there. I guess I'll just scoot it over, literally over here. Hopefully the pipe isn't going this way. We'll see. still go there. I'm going to get my wheelbarrow so that I can put this extra soil. I forgot my hose is leaking. What is that dripping? So I can put extra soil and then mix it with the garden soil. Can't really see that at all. Angle it this way. Let's go and play with angles. All right. That is so funny. I have height. Thankfully not hard. Get out some of these roots that I believe is from grass. That we go. Thirsty? Want some water? You just ate that entire lawn back to the bank. Oh, thirsty gal. Y'all know who lived in your house before you move in. My neighbor owned this house, and everywhere I dig, I'll find glass. There's a rope in here. I'll find all types of like metal pieces and whatnot because he was a contractor. He still is a contractor. And so he throws like everything in the yard, even next door. Now that he lives next door, he still throws everything in that yard. And so I'm always digging up all different types of stuff in my yard. I'm gonna put that in the compost. But is that he was a gardener as well. So it's like, wouldn't you take care of the soil? But I guess just the spot where he gardens is important. Am I about to find a whole bottle over here? Who knows? Like the top part of soil like that, I'm not going to use. I put that in my compost so that I'm not just burying seeds and roots that I don't want in the garden. But I will use the slightly lower soil. look what I found again. Now I have found a nail. This is turning into what will she find in her soil today? But there are worms. Nice. More metal. Really rusted. Let me know if any of your gardens are the same way. When you dig anywhere, you will find something. Like, I'm this close to buying a metal detector. See if I can find some treasure. Let's see if it's closer. Hopefully it's not you, because that's where I'm putting all of the extra soil. It's in that grow bag. Then I'm gonna just go dump it into the compost bin. Nothing grows over here. Where's it coming from? Let's see if this can fit in here. For the most part. Because I don't feel like going to go get a freaking machete or a hatchet to cut up this big old root out of the ground. That is not my church day. More glass. That's what the soil is looking like at this time. Organic matter, native soil, and some of that shredded bark that viburnum was covered in. I just threw that in there too. The roots are growing out of the bottom, around, and back into this container. So it's been in here for a while. These are going to go in the ground. Look at that. Just loosen this up a little bit. Like that. Out so that they're not kind of wrapped around each other so much. This plant was like $8.99 or so at my local nursery, which I love going to. We have this like large local, oop, I broke my widow pine. We have this large local nursery nearby that is so expensive. Like this plant there probably would cost like 40-50 bucks. But at the one closer to my house, they always have very nicely priced plants, like cheap. So I always just go there for stuff. Just gonna move this organic matter around a little bit to the edges. And if any of those, like I said in the beginning, there were some weeds, like clover weeds and stuff on top. How does she look? Oh, sorry, I didn't know that there was comments. Jeez Louise. Let me read back through the comments. I've been just gardening and trying to get this done without spending forever online. Hi, doing better with Moira, or Moriah, not Moira, sorry, Moriah. Can't hear you when your back is turned. Maybe you're not talking to us though. Oh, I am. I just need to turn around, sorry. Thank you. Find all pieces of glass, wired, concrete, and everything in my yard. Maybe the previous owner was a contractor. It's so frustrating. It is very frustrating. Like everywhere, absolutely everywhere. There's just stuff thrown out into the yard. It's very annoying. Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. My yard is full of a lot of worms, even though some of it's a little sketchy and I don't know if there's life, but when you find worms, then you know there's life, and that's a good thing. Sorry that you couldn't hear me though, and I was turned around. Okay, so that plant is in the ground. Oops. And I'm gonna plant the Russian sage, and then I will water everything. So I said the Russian sage was going to go right about here. Yeah, I'll put it closer to the Ophelia. I'm not really worried about the Ophelia taking it over. Um, I want it far enough from hibiscus. So I'm gonna put the Russian sage there. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with that back corner. Maybe I'll end up putting the viburnum in this back corner over here, where the hose is currently, but it will be moved. Hopefully, like this week, I'm gonna buy another hose that's long enough to reach up there. See if I can find one. So yeah. I'll show you again. This is the hibiscus that I planted, the Lord Baltimore hibiscus, rose mallow, which is a perennial hibiscus. So it'll die to the ground, or it'll get cut back each year, and then it'll come back each year. So it's not like a tropical hibiscus. And this is from Knott's Creek Nursery. Cold hardy to -20 to -10. It does not get nearly as cold as that here. So yeah. Twigs and stuff that I don't want over there. That is not a part of the mulch. And if you guys, I have a huge wisteria tree that drops hundreds, if not thousands, probably more like thousands or tens of thousands of these seeds every single year. So they're all over the place. And I just try to find as many as I can and remove them from the space I'm planting in, so that I'm not growing a wisteria tree. kill off any weeds or weed seeds um, before I plant up the rest of this garden, probably like in fall. I'm not going to do it this spring because I still have that side of the garden to worry about, but I can still plant in this spring, and then this side I'll finish up in the fall, if not next spring. So yeah, but I need a lot of box stuff. I forgot to ask. So I was kind of in a rush so that I could do this live today. Alright, that's fine. I think I got it. Yeah. So I've got plenty of soil over here though. I'm really debating if I want to put that pipeline back there right now. Excuse me. But for now, let's get this Russian sage in the ground. And with this topsoil, like I did with the last planting, and I'm putting it in this grow bag so that I can just go dump it into the compost bin, and it can be used for next year's planting. I cover my compost bin with a tarp so that the seeds and anything, old roots and stuff can die off, and it gets faster that way. More stiff, always in another hand. And how is there glass like 6 inches in the ground? It makes no sense. How did it get there? Sorry. I think I just found a slab of concrete. It's huge. Just gonna mess up all my plants. Yeah, that's like solid. Yeah, blood got stuck in my lip gloss. Hate when that happens. That's like solid concrete, so I'm not gonna remove that. I'm gonna just shift this hole over like I did the last one. A rubber band, is that a rubber band? Super long band. those are two separate pieces of concrete or brick or something. I don't know. But there's a root growing under it, so I know it could be pulled up. I'm just not going to do that right now. I'll get my husband to do that at a different date. I really got the time nor the strength. Really should not take this long. Big, simple. This is the line. Let's see if this can fit in there. Good enough. And then after I'm done with this, we'll go back to the porch to plant up my clematis. And then I'll figure out where I'm going to put, then I'll figure out, go back to the porch, plant the clematis, then I'll figure out where I'm going to put the viburnum. Look at how shallow these roots are compared to the hibiscus that I just planted. Crazy. And it has a bunch of these little pieces from that pot. So I guess just be careful when planting your plants in the ground to remove any of the plastic pot pieces that may be stuck to the soil. I'm going to do the same thing with this plant, just tease the roots a little bit. Since these roots are so shallow, that's gonna fly right in our faces. It's a little high. Plus, April, it gets really rainy here. And I know sage doesn't, I'm guessing it's the same with Russian sage, just like regular sage. It likes to be kind of more on the dry side. I was actually pulling up grass over here the other day, so any holes that you see that aren't next to the plant, that's why. And I'm gonna just throw down some of this soil to fill that in too. Over here, I'm pulling up grass. Okay, y'all. That is it's a little bit more. Sometimes I wear gloves, a lot of times I don't because I'm just connecting and grounding with the earth. So that plant's in, the other plant's in. I'm gonna stick that tag in the ground. What I really need to do is I need to come through all of my plants. I've saved all of my plant tags, but they're all in the house. So I need to come out and put them all in the ground with the plants so that I know what is what. So yeah, I'm gonna water these in really quick and then we'll go back to the porch and sit down and chat over there because I'm tired of bending over right now. I can't. Like all these little bark pieces. I guess they don't remove. These are what I was talking about. I guess they don't remove these and they just stick them in the pot so it was stuck to the bottom of the plant. You don't want to put plastic in the ground. So I guess just be aware of that and try to make sure none of these are stuck to the bottom of the plants before you put them in the ground. And give it a good little soaking so that it can settle and then I can see if I need to add any more soil around the plant. I saw all this glass and nails and extra stuff I found in the ground. It's ridiculous. Okay, back to the porch we go. Maybe going around. Okay. As you see, the clematis plug is very, very moist. It's been soaking in there this entire time. So now I'm just gonna take it and put it in this pot here. But first I'm gonna add more water so that the viburnum can soak up some more water as well. All right, that looks good. Ugh. Okay. So some of the shavings accidentally got mixed in with this pot of soil, but I don't really mind. I just make a hole in the middle. Try to remove some of this. This is like really squishy. I don't know why it's so squishy. Doesn't even feel like soil. I'll just like break it up and put it in the pot with it, but I'm gonna remove what I can without damaging these itty bitty roots. roots are pretty strong. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna break one, but I haven't broken one yet. So that's what the plant is looking like, this little itty bitty clematis. All of the roots are alive. The top part's looking a little sketchy, but I think I'll be fine. So what I just broke off, I'm gonna just mix it with this top layer of the soil here. I'm surprised I didn't have to use, I bought a whole nother like 2 cubic feet of soil just in case. And because I barely had any left in that little bag that you saw me empty earlier, but I guess I had enough to put in here. Alright, it's pretty mixed. Buzzing noise and my head snaps around so fast. What is that? Is it going to sting me or bite me? Never know with my yard. Never know. Okay, so that's in there. Hopefully it'll stay alive. If it doesn't, not really pressed about it. It was only like $5. And I was actually planning on buying a full-size plant. Not today, but I wanted to see how this little plant does first. So if it doesn't work out, in a couple of months, I'll just go and buy a full-size version. I'm gonna just soak this through. Sally, no. And now I want to drink this. All right. That looks good. Oh, I can take this out. That's great. I wanted to keep keeping all of the labels so I know exactly what I have. I'll put them in a Ziploc bag inside of my house for both of these. Like the clematis is an HF Young. Says plant in full sun to partial shade. Blooms every summer. Climbing vine, large blooms. So I will be taking in the clematis at night so that it doesn't die. Even though it's supposed to be pretty nice. It's supposed to be in the like mid to high 40s, and then it's going up to 50s at night. So when it's in the 50s at night, I'll keep this outside, but for now I'm gonna bring it out in the day and take it in the house at night just so it can stay alive. I'm gonna go toss this in the trash and I'll be back. All right, so I think I'm done with this live for today because I've been on here for, it says 77 minutes, so an hour. And I only have like 17% battery left. So unfortunately, I won't be planting this up on camera today, but you will see it grow and be beautiful and luscious. I'm gonna see if I can put it in that spot where I said I was going to, next to the porch. But if not, then I'll just have to find somewhere else. Hopefully it's not all like a pathway or concrete like that one little spot was. It's really weird. We have found like whole bricks buried in the ground on my property, which is once again very strange. But most of the bricks, actually all of the bricks, not most of them, every single brick that I've used to form my garden beds have came from the property. This house is over 100 years old, and it was, all of the bricks are from the chimney that was in this house that the previous owner sat in the backyard when he removed the chimney. So I think it's pretty cool. I have all of these like ancient bricks around the backyard. But so yeah, I'm going to plant this up soon. I'm gonna just leave it in here for now. I think I'm gonna go eat some lunch first and then figure out where I'm gonna put that, because I haven't eaten lunch yet. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and if you want to see more videos like this, gardening with me, not always planting stuff up, but doing other things in the garden once spring really takes off. I'm going to be planting a lot of seeds for food and whatnot, and of course I'm always going to be planting more medicinal herbs. I have medicinal herbs already in the ground. I did a garden tour, an late winter garden tour that I haven't uploaded yet because I haven't finished editing yet, which I will try to do either today or tomorrow. My life is pretty busy. Sometimes sometimes it's pretty lazy. But I will try to do more gardening videos, as well as my usual spiritual witchcraft videos and all that. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, my dirty hands.